Sawadee krab. Hello everyone. This is the Ph.D. Sabai Sabai Talk by SHRD NIDA episode 2. My name is Vishai Usahajit and I'm the director of the Ph.D. program in Human Resource and Organization Development at the National Institute of Development Administration in Bangkok, Thailand. This is the second episode and probably some of you or some of the audience out there, maybe this is your first time seeing this clip. So let me introduce a little bit about the program itself. PhD Sabai Sabai Talk refers to informal and informal talk about living and learning a valuable life, especially from people who have experienced in a doctoral program. Since I am responsible for the PhD program in Human Resource and Organization Development, I would like to invite a few people to be our guests and talk about their life and like their work life and also their experience during their journey in the PhD program. And last episode, I have invited our alumni and also she was having a very nice experience in the program. And also she is now working as my colleague in the School of Human Resource Development at NIDA or the National Institute of Development Administration in Bangkok, Thailand. And this time I am proudly presenting you one of our I will not probably introduce her myself. I'll let you meet her and let her introduce herself. I think that would be better because she's now one of the management team of a very well-known organization in Thailand. Okay, without further ado, let have my team call her in and we'll talk. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, let me introduce you a little bit to the audience. This is Dr. Kuntida Mongkon Sirikiat, or can I call you Dr. Paul?
Sure.
Paul is her nickname. Okay. I'll let you introduce yourself to the audience a little bit.
My name is Nida, or you can call me for short as Paul. Now I'm working as a vice president at Bangkok Bank. I take care of developing people in consumer banking.
Wow, that's a very big responsibility, huh?
Yeah, it's challenging as well as it's worthwhile. As a responsibility and duty to develop the financial planner or financial advisor, and so that they can give advice to the Thai people nationwide because we have branches all over the country.
Yes, because Bangkok Bank is one of the oldest banks in Thailand, right?
And most stable.
Yeah, I can say that. Yes, because I'm one of your customers as well, right? Anyway, so your background screen is Ph.D, right?
Yes. It's the logo of my team, Ph.D as People Development Department. Yep.
So that's your name.
Thank you for inviting me to be your guest today. I graduated in Ph.D. in HROD from SHRD NIDA, and I'm glad to be here.
And which batch were you in?
Actually, I'm a hybrid. I joined Ph.D. HROD in batch 2, but I graduate with batch 3. So, I'm a hybrid because at the start, I asked Dr. Jirapapa, then I think she took care of the program. And then I asked her if I could try because I'm not sure, like PhD is, like not my dream. I've never dreamed of, like completing the PhD. So I asked her, well, I want to learn more about the HRD, human resource development, but I'm not sure if I want to join the whole program. So she let me join with batch 2. And then when I complete 3 courses, I want more. I want to learn more. So she said, okay, then you start the program, but then you have to wait and join the batch 3.
Oh, okay. That's good for you and good for us too, because we have you as one of our family members in the program. Okay. Since your responsibility is very big and challenging, like you mentioned, can you tell us a little bit about your current project, if you can share with us? What are you trying to do and what would be some of your challenges? Because banking industry, I think everyone knows that has, experienced lots of disruption, we can say that, and transformation as well. So maybe you can share us a little bit about your task at the moment.
Right. As you mentioned, the challenge now is for the banking industry in the COVID era as of
Right.
now. We have to support the business. I mean, in terms of the SME, the large corporation that we lend, the fund for them to do their business. And right now, as we all know, that like Thailand as a like tourist country and the country of the hospitality, we cannot continue the business to welcome the tourists as well as in other services industry. So like as a bank, we have to support the business so that they can sustain during the hardship era like this. So as in terms of like the bank itself, this is the time for us to develop and work with our customer. So we have to look back into like our people and give them tools and equipment in terms of knowledge and skills so that they can support both their customers and the business. So right now, what I'm working at is we work with our partner, like the insurance company, because right now, I mean, the customer, they look for the budget insurance policy that could cover them from sickness of COVID and other critical illness. So as a banking staff, how could we help customer educate educate our customer in terms of like which insurance policy is suitable and match with their needs during this time? And like as we all know that like the economics is not as prosperous as before. So how can we keep in touch with our customer and give advice in terms of both the investment, before we could deposit our money into like saving account or fixed income account, but right now the interest rate is very low. So where could this customer, our customer, put the money and do the asset allocation for our customer? So right now is our challenge to reform our program, our courses from face to face. We used to have like we used to run face to face class. So now we have to develop our online courses. We have to make like video like this to make it, both giving the education and give the entertainment to our staff so that they learn and then they can bring this knowledge and skill to give financial advice to our customers. So apart from that, we still have to continue with our management development program as we need the team leader in our organization. So we have to change, we have to adjust in terms of our department to keep updated with the situation and make sure that our leaders, our organization leaders get the same quality as before so that they can be in the position as they were appointed and then lead the team and be able to coach their staff and then, like give their best to the customer.
Yes, wow. Thank you for sharing that insightful information. I think as we all experience ourselves during this time that we have to adjust ourselves, we have to transform. I think we can use that word. Everyone has to transform themselves. And especially in the banking industry, like technology wave, it's also affecting the banking industry. But during this period of time, like you mentioned, COVID-19 pandemic affects all of us, not only the banking industry, but every industry, like you mentioned. So I think your job is very crucial to the development of the country as well, not only your organization. So I have to say, in Thai we would say "su-su," right? Like I'm giving you the best regards and support in all you do at this time. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And actually, I have learned that your background was in financial or finance before you joined our program. Is that correct?
Yes. As I mentioned, like I never dreamed of studying further my study in Ph.D. and or in human resource development. My background, my first degree is in languages. And then I further my study in business management from the UK. And then, with this job, I got a job offer from Bangkok Bank, and a very challenging position as an HRD because like my background used to be in wealth management, in sales management, and but I think my boss see the potential and look for someone who know the business, and so he want to shift from the someone who know the business inside out of the consumer banking to work as and developing people of the branches and the consumer banking. So at that time, it's like 10 years back.
Wow.
I was looking of how to understand HRD better, how to make my background more solid, apart from the business background or wealth management that I have already. So I was looking from the Pantip board, and then I searched. Well, I look for that first, and then what I saw? I saw a post from Dr. Uy, Dr. Davisa. She posted,
our first guest.
Yes, she posted it on Pantip. And she recommended, she was at that time a student of batch one, she just got in. And she mentioned about the course, which is interesting. Like she said, we have the best academic from all over the world. Dr. Gary, for instance, and many more. So like I become interested. So next I went for tour around the campuses, not NIDA first. I went first to the university close to my home because like I look at the time, I have to work 9 to 5, right? And then I have to do the after working hours study. So I went first to the Sabai University to look for some course that I can learn about HRD. And I took the exam, and then during the interview, the faculty there, they talked to me, and then they said that I don't think this suits you. You better go study Ph.D. in psychology or HRD, and then come back and be a faculty staff at that university.
Oh.
I said I'm I'm overqualified for that course. So I went on. I went to Chulalongkorn University, and then I go to the faculty of psychology, and then ask for the course, the program that they have. Again, they said that okay, they plan to open the course, but then they don't have enough faculty. So yeah, so so I didn't get anything. So then I come back, look at Dr. Davisa post again, and then I decided to call, and then there I met Dr. Jirapapa Ajantan, and then she said that why don't you give it a try? So I said why not? So I registered the first 3 courses, and there I am.
I have to say thanks to Ajahn Ui's post in pantip.com, right? So to the audience, pantip.com is the website for information both in general and also in business and in education as well, right? So thanks God that you have found us, in that pantip.com, right? Anyway, so I have to say thank you to those 2 universities as well for not allowing you to be part of their program because they said that you are overqualified. But anyway, so you have found us and you are part of our family actually since then and up until now, right? Anyway, I have to tell the audience that I have a chance to talk with Dr. Paul and also work with Dr. Paul in a few projects. For example, like we have been speakers in the HRD talk, HROD talk, if you can remember, under the topic of leadership development inside out one time. And I have invited Dr. Paul to be part of that. And I have learned a lot from what Dr. Paul has been doing to develop people at Bangkok Bank. Anyway, let's get back to some of your experience during your journey in the PhD program, in the doctoral program. As you mentioned that it was not in your plan before, but then you have been probably inspired by some of your maybe management teams or some of your what can I say, curiosity yourself, maybe, because you mentioned that you have been in wealth management industry or financial industry, so you have a lot of experience in that area. But to develop people, you probably have to look for some resources to help you in that achieving that mission. Anyway, so you mentioned that you joined our program for the first 3 courses, and then you say, I have to, I have to learn more. I have to look for more resources in the program. So what would be some of your experience during your PhD journey back then?
Okay, my impression, I would say, the three highlights. The first highlight would be the course epistemology course by Dr. Gary. I never heard of that word before, even though my first degree is in languages. So I start to learn what it is. And, I think it changed my paradigm or perspective of everything in life, from this course. And then it's kind of like self-learning. Dr. Gary wouldn't, come in and give you the lecture and tell you everything. No, he gives us the list of movies that we have to go find ourselves, and then we watch it, and then we have to decode what we learn from that movie. And then, each person takes different movie, and then we compare notes, and then we discuss. And, I think, one striking, during the session of notes comparing is we all got kind of the same kind of similar key takeaway, the film like Rashomon. I don't know if you have watched it. It's fascinating. I mean, it tells you about the, human being, or even, after life, after death, if you are a ghost and you still, have that kind of mindset, then, well, the key point would be, what is truth? It depends on, your own paradigm, it's your paradigm, right? So, you have to shift your lens a bit to see not only your truth, but, I have my truth, you have your truth, but, our truth may not be the same thing, right? Even though we are at the exactly, at the same event, right, during the same time, but then our truth is different. It's it's because our interpretation is different, right? And then and that's the key point that I take from this learning in epistemology. That everything that you are doing, in everyday life, every decision you make, before you act or before you judge, have you consider, not only your truth, but others' truth? Have you considered that?
Wow. I have heard a lot about this course, the epistemology course, that it has changed a lot of people's mindset. And you mentioned this course. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's one of your maybe very impressive course during the journey.
Yeah. The other course is ethics. During the first degree, during my master degree, our school life for Thai people, I think, you may have, during your primary years of having หน้าที่พลเมือง or ศีลธรรม, something like morality. But, that's not it. You can't lecture someone to have morality or ethics, right? But this course that I took from SHRD NIDA in Ph.D. Is actually kind of the professor bring in the case from around the world. Like, for example, อาจารย์วิชัย from different culture, right? In Arabian country, right? is it ethical to punish the female, who do not act accordingly to the religion law? Is it ethic? It's again, on the viewpoint of the people, of the of the customs of each country, and again, it's kind of open your mindset, open your paradigm that we have diversity in this world, and we have to respect it, even though you from your culture, you may think that you can't do that, but in those countries, it's their law, it's their way of life, right? So where is the balance, and when confronting with this controversial issue, where do you stand, or how would you kind of put yourself among these different perspectives, right? And again, in terms of ethics, for example, you go to 7-Eleven and then they give you the wrong change. How do you act? Or it's nighttime, it's over midnight, and you drive, you have to go through this intersection, but then it's red light. There's no car around. How do you act? What do you do? This kind of make you asking yourself how do you act? Is it so and then again the professor asks you then the ethics is not black and white then, good is subjective, is relative. Is it like that? It cannot be, how could we know that this is good or this is bad?
Yeah.
Or
so
killing someone, is it good or is it bad? Right? So in some countries, it's you can do it, right? Because if according to their laws, you are allowed to do that, or beat someone, right? So it's kind of puzzle you and then make you wonder, can we really not separate the white from the black, and it's fun and stimulating, then make you ponder. But then at the end, we can separate, that killing someone is not right, it's not good, and yeah, kind of twisted kind of thought, and I like it, my situation.
Okay, so that's the other thing that you have the good experience with. It's about how you think, right? The way you think, the way you rational, the way you give your reasons. So I think that that's very in both living life and also in work as well, right? So anyway, so if you are to give advice to the audience who probably are interested in going for a PhD, what would be some of your words of advice to them so that they can enjoy their journey? I'm sure, I think you probably have enjoyed your journey quite a lot during that time. So what would be some of your words of advice?
Taking a PhD journey is not easy. And, I would not recommend to those who think that, is, just 3 years or 5 years and then I'm done. And it's not that easy. If you don't dream big. If you don't, you have to be prepared to work really hard and to learn and by yourself, to learn about yourself, to learn of others, and work not only with yourself but work with others. I mean, in terms of the faculties, academy, and as well as our peer in the classes. But if you think that you want to develop yourself, you want to help develop others, I would recommend Ph.D. in HROD at NIDA. As I mentioned, I learned a lot, and during the journey, not only in terms of academics, I think, like academic side is not that hard, but in terms of, yourself, you learn about yourself, your mindset, your paradigm shift, and you learn to work with others to achieve this dissertation, this to earn the PhD degree. I think is worthwhile and very rewarding for those who have high achievement and have, like Ajahn Vichai always said, if you have grit, you have to be perseverance, and during the journey, you will encounter many obstacles. I can guarantee that, like if you go through the PhD at SHRD NIDA and you have the rosy carpet in front of you, then, like you are not taking part of this PhD journey. So yeah, I encourage you, those fighters who are high achiever and want to achieve in terms of develop yourself and develop others.
Wow, thank you so much. I like your words. I mean, when you use the word fighters and high achievers, right? So PhD journey it's fun if you are prepared, if you are a fighter, right? So if you think you will just have this PhD journey just to maybe relax or to enjoy. Of course, you can enjoy, you can relax, but there would be times when you have to really put yourself harder and harder and probably put a lot of efforts in order to be able to be successful. And I like when you mentioned that in this program, even though it's about human resource development, but we have to start by developing ourselves, of course, before we can developing others. Okay, so I have to say thank you so much, Dr. Paul, for spending time with us in this PhD Sabai Sabai Talk by SHRD NIDA second episode. I have learned a lot from you in terms of your current project and also how you look at the program and your words of advice. Hopefully, we can meet in some other programs in the future. Of course, we can learn from each other, right? Okay, so I have to say thank you and สวัสดีครับ
ขอบคุณค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ thank you ค่ะ
So this is the second episode of the Sabai Sabai Talk by SHRD NIDA. Thank you so much, Dr. Paul, Dr. Kuntida Mongkol Sirikiat for joining us and giving her stories, sharing her stories with us so that we can probably have a different perspective and mindset toward life and toward learning. And I'm sure that, like she mentioned, that during her journey in our program, she has probably experienced lots of change in herself. So I hope that this program, Sabai Sabai Talk, would at least give you some interesting information and some key takeaway points that you can learn and you can take it with you in your PhD journey. Be the current journey for some of those, some of the audience who are now in your PhD journey, and to some of those who are looking forward to be being part of the PhD program, not only at our program but in any other program as well. Okay, so that's it for now. I'll see you later in our episode 3. Thank you so much. สวัสดีครับ